Hello, and welcome to StarCraft2. I am Thortrilisk. In this series, I'm going to be going over just the basics of this game. In this video, I'm going to be going over some basic terminology and just the really basic stuff. And then later on, I'm going to go over, in later videos, I'm going to go over each race's units and kind of like the things to keep in mind when playing each race. Stuff like that. So, most of your terminology in this game fits into two camps. Micro and macro. These each stand for micromanaging and macro-managing, right? So macro is all the big picture stuff. Building your economy, getting army, building buildings, all of that is just baked into the umbrella of macro. Also getting upgrades is also included in macro. Micro is controlling your units. For the most part, this happens in combat. And often I will use micro in terms of like, this unit requires a lot of micro, or this person's micro is really good. And if I say a unit requires a lot of micro, it basically means this unit is not good unless you spend time controlling it. Which for beginner players, generally you want to avoid those units. Because you don't really want to be controlling your units during a fight, because it's so much more useful to get more units, because more stuff beats less stuff most of the time. Even when the less stuff is controlled a little bit better, usually it's worth building more stuff. Now, I'm going to talk about some of the very basic mechanics of the game. So, in your top right hand corner, you'll see a number next to a blue symbol. That's your minerals. This is your basic resource, and you want a lot of it. Everything in the game requires at least some amount of minerals, and especially the easy stuff to control requires a lot of minerals. So in the early game, focus mostly on minerals. You're going to want a little bit of gas. Vespian gas, or as we usually call it, gas, is the number next to the green symbol. Now this requires a specialized building to harvest it, and it's used for your advanced units. The amount you want really depends on which race you're playing. Right? The gas to mineral balance depends on what race you're playing. The third symbol up there is your supply. And the symbol for supply changes depending on the race you play. But the first number is how much supply you have, and the second number is how much supply you can have. You want to get that number as high as possible, the first one, and keep the second one a little bit ahead of it all the time. If I say supply blocked, that means that your first number has caught up, that the first number is caught up to the second number, which means that you can't get any more until you build more of whatever thing increases your supply. When you get to 200, then you can't get any more supply. You're not allowed to have any more supply, even if you build more of the things that allow you to have more supply. This is what we call being maxed, and it is a really good thing. And once you're there, if you haven't attacked yet, once you get to being maxed, you might as well attack. And also, once you're maxed, this is when what I was saying earlier about having a lot of money, about getting a lot of money and not spending it, is a lot less relevant. It doesn't matter nearly as much because you can't spend your money effectively. So now it's okay if you get more money, because then you're just preparing for when you lose groups of your army. So that is just some pretty basic terminology, as well as some simple mechanics. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.